Thanks everybody for coming. Obviously, we had a pretty eventful night last night. The whole state is in a heap of damage control from the winds, from the amount of trees that came down. We made okay as far as flooding, but obviously we have a lot of power out and a lot of trees down, along with surrounding communities. We've had our full OEM staff meeting about an hour and a half ago, and we are mobilizing into our recovery mode. And just a couple of quick points that the residents should be aware of. One is they should be aware to conserve water. The governor has put out a request that people conserve water wherever possible. Many communities are right now without the access to certain types of services. So we ask everybody to conserve water. Stay inside your home. Be out driving around, walking around unless it's an emergency. There are a lot of down wires, and down wires means dangerous wires. So people have to be aware there's still gusts of 20 to 30 miles per hour wind, and you could have tree limbs break. You still have soft ground. You could have trees tumble over. Obviously, we've seen the tree damage, so people should be aware of their surroundings. And we ask people if they don't need to be out, try not to be out. We're just going to echo what we've been saying for a couple of days. Be prepared for long outages, 7 to 10 days. We have not spoken to JCP&L as of yet today, but we will be hearing from them shortly. I got an email about an hour ago. They're mobilizing their statements and how they're going to move forward. As far as I know, Chief Cadenby's has been injuries reported, serious injuries?
No injuries reported.
Okay, so far we don't have any serious injuries reported in Morristown. Obviously, we've all heard there's been some fatalities outside of the town, so our hearts and prayers go out to that family, especially from Mendham, and all the people that are in serious need of service in many communities throughout the state, from Cape May all the way through Jersey City and Hoboken, even New York City, Staten Island. This was a huge storm and it's had a devastating impact on many communities. We are going to have a information table here where people can come in and get information. We are also going to mobilize volunteers in our CERT team that Steve may touch on briefly, to try to get out and get the message out to residents that don't have any power, which right now we feel is about 70+% of the town. But many towns around us are out 100%. So briefly, I'm going to let the police chief say a few words on what's going on as far as safety, and then we'll hear from Captain, and then we'll wrap it up. Chief.
Well, as far as the police department, we have doubled our workforce. We are working 12-hour shifts, 12 hours on, 12 hours off. And we simply ask that you reserve calls to emergency services for true emergencies. That's hard to define, but once again, we just ask that you utilize emergency services for true emergencies.
In reference to the activities of the Office of Emergency Management, we have our Emergency Operations Center open 24 hours a day at this point. Still working very hard around the clock to track additional trees, wires down, hazards in the community. We ask the community's cooperation in reporting any wires that they have that are properly down. And again, I can't emphasize enough the mayor's message about hazards created by down wires. We'll have volunteers from the Community Emergency Response Team going out into the community to provide information. They may ultimately be used in different ways, such as assisting our special needs population, specifically our senior citizens, and they'll be staffing an information center booth in the lobby here to provide information to the public. Thank you.
Veej, anything? No. Yeah, I can't emphasize, and I need you guys to emphasize, common sense and caution when it comes to trees, down wires, driving access in and out and around the town. Caution and common sense. Our fire department, our DPW, and police are all working together to get all our roads open as fast as possible. Some are not accessible due to down wires. So again, we are working diligently and as fast and as safe as we can to clear our roads and work with the utilities to get our service back to our residents. Be patient, and I want you to take these numbers down. For any OEM, for any emergencies and shelter information, please call 973-292-4884. For JCP&L outages, if you have not called in an outage that you have or not aware of, it's 1-888-544-4877. Do not assume that we have taken that call and put it into their system. Make the phone call, put it into the system so a work order is generated. And again, we will have information here starting this afternoon as far as town stuff. So again, please, everybody be safe, be patient, and use extreme caution when moving around the town. Anything else, guys? Okay, that's it. Thank you, and we'll keep in touch throughout the day.